Tower of God is not worth my time. Now, that may be a strong title, it's probably gonna piss a few people off, but with all the misleading content here on YouTube.com, at least it's a truthful one. Firstly, let me explain the situation. I recently uploaded a video casually discussing the first episode, keyword first episode, of Tower of God while playing Apex Legends with my boys, Nuxtaku and the Anime Dude, and received a decent amount of hate. Obviously, I knew this was going to happen because we were pretty harsh on the episode. Anytime you criticize something with a sizable and dedicated audience, this tends to happen. Although one of my pet peeves here on YouTube is all the fake positivity. People really out here calling themselves reviewers, yet 99% of said reviewers just summarize the episodes, chapters, entire series, talk about what moments got them hyped, what they loved, and funny enough, leave out any sort of criticism. Clearly, everything is a perfect masterpiece. If you ever wondered why people do this, well, it's cause they know fanboys are sensitive about their favorite series. And it's obviously better not to make people dislike you when growing an audience. But back on topic. For the longest time, people have been hyping up and recommending I read Tower of God. It's a super long and very popular manhwa from Korea. I never really got around to reading it, but when I heard it was getting an anime, I was genuinely excited. At the same time, I also planned on starting a brand new series called Apex Boys Talk Anime. I play Apex with the boys pretty much every day on my Twitch channel, and we often talk anime. So I figured why not make it a tad more official, that way I can upload it to my YouTube channel. I plan to make the first episode on the popular series Tower of God, simply giving our opinions on the first episode. It's an easy way to quickly make content on a relevant topic. We 100% would have talked about it anyway, so why not make a video out of it? But then, I watched the first episode, and boy was I disappointed. It wasn't just okay, I genuinely thought it was terrible. I will definitely elaborate and explain why I disliked it a little bit later in the video, but of course, this is just my opinion, and more importantly, it's my opinion on only the first episode, cause that's literally all I've seen. And yet, so many fanboys took it as me attacking the entire series. The amount of comments I got around the lines of, "This guy watches one episode and decides the entire series is trash." No, I decided the one episode I watched was trash. Or bro, this is why the 3-episode rule exists. Are you really trying to tell me I can't talk about the first episode and give my opinions on it? Let's just all not say a word about the series until we get to the magical number 3. All discussions are officially cancelled going forwards, boys. First of all, I hate the 3-episode rule, and I think it's stupid. I'll get into that in a bit as well. Secondly, I specifically said multiple times within the video that even though I didn't enjoy or like the episode, I would go against my own judgment and continue to watch the series since I heard so many great things. In one ear, out the other. And worst case, if I decide to drop the series, I was even willing to give the manhwa a shot, as I felt the adaptation may have been holding the series back. I think for someone that doesn't believe in the 3-episode rule, I'm being more than accommodating. But Briggs, what do you mean you don't believe in the 3-episode rule? Well, let me read you one of my recent tweets on the topic. I don't really believe in the 3-episode rule. I can't always tell if a series will be good off one episode, but I can usually tell if it will be bad, LOL. And more importantly, if it's a series for me. Does that make sense? And what I mean by this is if I think an anime's first episode is just okay, or it interests me, I'll probably keep watching to see if it gets better. But if I think it's absolute garbage, or it just doesn't interest me, then I'll drop it. I've watched 300 plus anime. I know what I like. I can spot a bad adaptation from a mile away, and I can tell when something is trash, at least based on my own subjective taste. In most cases, I would have dropped Tower of God, but like I said, I was willing to give it some time. I also got spammed with a bunch of anime that I like and mentioned in the video, that also apparently have terrible first episodes in an attempt to prove a point. The main 3 I saw were Hunter x Hunter, One Piece, and Steins Gate. Steins Gate had a solid first episode in my opinion. Not only did I think Okabe was a fun, quirky, interesting character, but the first episode ended in a plot twist cliffhanger that literally set up the rest of the series. A much better argument would be that the first 12 episodes are very slowly paced compared to the second half of the series, which I would agree with, but even the first half was very enjoyable in my opinion. I highly recommend you guys all check out Steins Gate. Next up, Hunter x Hunter's first episode not only gave us a solid introduction to Gon, the type of guy he is, and what his goals were, but also introduced Leorio and Kurapika, who immediately caught my interest. Followed by One Piece's first episode, which wasn't amazing by any means. Comparing it with the start of the manga gave us a solid warning to bail out on this adaptation and read the manga instead. Not only is the art better, but it's much better paced. This is what I should have done. However, I watched One Piece closer to the start of my anime journey. I was much more naive and tolerant. I continued to watch the anime, but at the end of the day, it still interested me. I love anything pirates, the first Pirates of the Caribbean being one of my all-time favorite movies, and Luffy genuinely intrigued me, especially when compared to Kobe, and if I recall correctly, they even teased Zoro at the end of the episode. But at the end of the day, I really only read the manga now, so it turns out I guess the one episode rule does work. So were these first episodes absolutely amazing? Not really. Could I have told you they would have become the juggernauts and beautiful series they are today? Nope. But the episodes weren't garbage. If you recall my thoughts on my one episode rule, if the series is okay or the premise interests me enough, I continue to watch. If it's trash and doesn't catch my interest, I drop it and move on to something better. These 3 introductions weren't amazing by any means, but they were easily good enough to make me watch a second episode. However, I cannot say the same for Tower of Simp. Bomb Bam Bam Bomb is a super boring character with literally zero emotion, which is fine. I understand that's his character because of his backstory, but given that he is insanely boring to watch, it's the anime's job to keep us interested. One way of doing that is surrounding our emotionless, boring protagonist with interesting characters that bring value to the conversation. However, they failed in that department too. The amount of cringe in this episode honestly hurt to watch. Yuri had this amazing weapon that could either be all-powerful or completely useless depending on who wields it, and she could literally get executed for giving it away. And the reasoning she gives as to why she gives it to him is because he has a cute face. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because he has a cute face? I don't know if this is some failed attempt at humor. Obviously there's some deeper reason as to why she wants to help him. At least I fucking hope so. But it's not like she told him to try and activate it, so she pretty much gave him a normal, useless sword. If you didn't believe he could activate it, why give it to him? Are you even helping him at this point or giving him false hope? Why would you take such a big risk if you didn't think he could activate it? It would be too smart to try and make him activate it beforehand or tell him how to at the very least. But of course we need a grand reveal mid-fight, and when he activated it and the Whammon sword decided to give him power, it's again because he has a cute fucking face. I repeat, are you kidding me? If I had to guess and kind of read in between the lines, it's probably because he's an irregular. Regardless, this episode was boring, cringe, dumb, rushed, confusing, horribly adapted. I could go on forever. And yes, I read the manhwa to compare. The backstory was better explained on the first showing in the manhwa, which could have easily been included in the first episode, and it would have helped us to further understand Bomb's character. The direction of the first episode and the second episode is doing nothing but hurt this adaptation. I will admit that the second episode was better than the first episode, which really doesn't mean much. It was just actually watchable. Kun managed to mildly catch my interest, and at least Rack was fun. Anyway, I am officially done with trying to make other people happy. I officially dropped the anime like I should have originally off my initial interpretation, and I'm picking up the manhwa because it seems to be a much better experience. I may read it live on twitch.tv/BCBriggs, I stream a bunch, play games, talk anime, it's actually so much fun. The one thing I will admit before ending this video is the format of Apex Boys Talks anime is very casual, and thus things weren't articulated and worded as well as they could have been. For example, I compared Bam to Usopp when talking about acting fearless, which is very unfair considering Usopp has had 900 plus chapters to develop. I was mainly trying to point out that his actions held no weight because he has zero personality, while with someone like Usopp, when he acts fearless, it's a contrast to his cowardice, shows that he is willing to stand up for what he believes in, especially when it has something to do with his nakama. It was just an example I thought of off the top of my head, cause I had been working on a Usopp video the same day. However, to be fair, this contrast existed in Syrup Village, literally the first arc he was introduced. But again, I don't expect Bomb to be like Usopp in any way. I was just saying him having zero personality makes shit boring, pretty much. But anyway, that is the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed. Most of my content is not like this, but I did feel the need to vent. Smash that like button because I'm sure this video will get some hate. And now I want to give a big thank you to all my patrons. My $1 patrons are on screen right now, and that is all you need to donate to gain access to my private Discord server. And now a big thank you to my $2 tier, Siren, RTL Faith, Raphael, Codex. A thank you to my $5 tier, McManga, Nothing But a Fan, King Osloth, Maggie, Joel Godinez, Michelle Moria, Steven, Ophir, Kakashali, KT, Maddie Ice Cream, Miguel, and a thank you to my $10 tier, Johnny Boy Draws, I Cry During Sex, Cricket XP, Jake Kasumi, Shelly, Kaiser Runar, TerraShift12, Gamer HGH, your boy Shinji, Soulslayer, Jake Min, Greg, Jessica, King Zeldris, Elizabeth, Dusty Blanchette, Ginkgo Taku, and finally a gigantic thank you to my $25 tier, you absolute mad lads. Thank you Steelers, Rusty Lee, Tyson Carino, Mori, Chara, and some guy 9393. I'll see you guys all next time, Shinpaku.